cloud. Hi there, Julie Evans here with Animal Messages. Okay, today or this week we've got a tough, well, that's a judgment that it's a tough topic, right? It's about when our pet passes away, or I like to say drops their body, because they actually still exist in spirit and in energetic form, and they're just no longer in that body. So we've got that, and then we've got an update on Aria, our cat that had a serious surgery, and she was using the Bemer, which is a device to get oxygen. It works microvascular to get oxygen where it needs to go, and drugs were tried. Things, the typical line of protocol of treatment was tried, and it turned out that the Bemer is working very well, which is not a typical line of treatment. Anyway, so we also have the trauma clearing peaceful pet tree. So that's growing. Okay, so now, okay, we had two clients for clients who dropped their bodies. One is named Jolly, and she's a bull mastiff, and she's on the West Coast. Jolly was in her body for 12 years, and with her people and her pack. Now, I'll tell you about the experiences with them. I just happened to look at my Facebook page, which I'm not on very much, and I had seen that Jolly had passed just a few hours earlier. And the second dog again that passed was Maggie, is named Maggie. And Maggie is a bigger dog. I forget if she's a retriever, but she's in that kind of category, medium sized dog. So I just happened to be going through emails, and I'm like, oh, Maggie. I don't think I talked with Maggie for maybe 5 or 6 months now. And I knew she was over 10 and was having issues with her body. So I texted her skin mama, her person, and said, oh, Mom, Maggie passed last Monday. So I'm going to get into then what I went and did and what I do. And for those of you first watching this video, I'm a pet coach, an animal communicator. I'm an empath, so I feel in my body what the animal feels, valuable information. I hit my head, and now I can hear them in English, Spanish, and German, so I can carry on a conversation with them. I'm the bridge between the human world and the pet world. Okay, we often put projections on the animals as if they're human, because that's our filter, and we say, oh, they're doing that because they're jealous, or they're doing that because they're pissed, they're angry with us, et cetera, et cetera. And oftentimes that's not it at all, because the dogs are pack animals and cats can exist in a colony, and animal world is different than human world. Okay, so I have a conversation with them, asking them various what questions, and and they show me pictures and give me words. They learn their language from us humans. So if you swear, guess what? Your animal probably swears in their head also. So, okay, that's what I do. So right away when I heard about Jolly, when I read that, I actually channeled the session right on the Facebook post, because I didn't want to lose it. I wasn't recording it like I'm recording this, and in my sessions that are scheduled, they're recorded on Zoom and then sent to the client. If they want to review them or even watch them with family members that can't be present at the Zoom, because I will connect with animals that have dropped their bodies. So it's a nice, it's a gift for somebody who has lost a pet. And I know I've taken elderly dogs. So in 5 years, I've put down 3 dogs. And I don't ever think to reach out to another animal communicator to help me through it. Although I have communication with those animals, and another animal communicator doesn't have a vested interest in the outcome. It doesn't have an emotion, and therefore the energy can work like that. As soon as there's a clinging on, like, then my healing and the energies, they don't want to flow. They get short circuited. There's, because people have asked, if you can do this with dogs, why don't you do it with yourself? Why don't you do it with your own dog? Well, I did it with Chico. I practice on him, but if I'm attached to the outcome, like I want him to get better, and I don't want him to die, then the energy won't work for me. So I have to have somebody. So it's got to be somebody that's disinterested. Okay, so if you, gifting a session when they lose a pet. Okay, because what happened both with Jolly and Maggie. Now I'm going back into the sessions with them, so I'm closing my eyes because Jolly hadn't moved on either. She had dropped her body, but she had not left. She didn't want to leave her person. So there's a process I run that from my training to work with humans that is basically get back in your body and make it work or get out. That's this process that's run. So, and she had dropped her body. She'd been taken to the vet. So she had been put down. So I ran that process because she didn't realize that she was, it's quite it can be a confusing time when the body is dropped, because now we have a thought of the beach, boom, we're at the beach. People have picked up our toys and our bowls and put them away. So Maggie this week was like, where are my balls? Where are my balls? Now she had dropped her body 9 days earlier, so her balls were, so they're confused, I mean, they're not used to not having the body. Some haven't realized it. So Jolly really hadn't realized it. So I said, okay, I ran that process and I said, okay, that's your new home. And a lot of times it has sparkly lights, like a filter, like a photo filter. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just like a big round hole. Kind of reminds me of maybe a culvert, but a nice looking culvert, a lighted culvert. And Jolly was like, I can't, I typed it while it was coming, so I'm not going to get the exact words for you, but was like, I can't leave my person. And I said, you know what, without the body, you don't have the body now, you can be in two places at one time. You can split that energy and have your attention. We do it with our attention. We have TV and then the kids, or TV and a book, and we can split our energy, and what we're paying attention to, right? So when you don't have a body, you can do this, you can be in two different places as the animals. It takes a lot of effort, but they can do it. Okay. And so I said, you can do that. And she's like, oh, okay. And then the heaviness lifted. She was like, oh, okay, I'll do that then. As long as she could still be present with her person. So then she could like drop everything and truly, be the light and feel light. Okay. So then Maggie, so when I checked in with Maggie, and I hadn't known cognitively that she had passed, right? But I just was going through emails and I'm like, wow, I haven't had contact with Maggie in months. I wonder what's going on. So I check in with her. I'm like, it's easier for me to do that than it is to text for a person, to tell you the truth. I can just check in. Oh, Maggie, boom. And she, and what she said was, I said, what's going on? That's my opening line to most of the animals. What's going on? Not how are you? What is going on? She said, I don't know what's happening. Like that, like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. And I've heard that before. And it's usually when an animal has dropped their body and they're confused that they don't have a body or what happened here, right? So I texted her person and said, what's going on with Maggie? Oh, Maggie passed last Monday. I'm like, oh, I thought so. So then I did the clearing of, okay, that one, where you can drop your body or leave your body. And then she saw the sparkly lights and went towards them and was it just was like, it's like a weight had been lifted off me, because I feel what they feel. So they both were feeling a lot of weight. And this is not rare, because it is confusing that you have a body for 10 years and then you don't have a body. And I'm not sure if they know, like I've had incidents where an animal was trampled. And even though the animal had since been buried, it had been weak, the animal was still identifying with the body and still feeling the pain when something happens that sudden. So these sessions when an animal passed are so valuable, because the animal gets to move on in peace. If they already have, I get to report back to the human that they're at peace, or they're still around, or they're still doing their job, or because we as humans, like I said, I've put down dogs, so that's a decision that I make. And they get the happy juice, and then they get the drop the body juice, and I've been there for it. And with Chico, I could ask him, are you ready to drop your body? Would you like to drop your body? And I finally got yeah, I think it's tree time. And so then he dropped his body. Oh, this is our Chico. This is his legacy, because I know, right? I think he was yawning. Amy, his dog, took that picture. So no, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, and the human often doesn't know, did I wait too long? Were they in pain? Did I, put them down too soon? Are they with the other animal? Or if it was an accident, or if they've gotten out of the house, or those things, then we as humans are like, I should have made sure that gate was shut, or I shouldn't have people to my house that Sunday, or whatever precipitated the accident of that the animal dropped their body in. It's just comforting to every human that I've done this with, and the animal, that they're just relieved. And I tell you, most of the time the animals have just complete love for their person. I mean, sometimes they're still like, I'm going to kick your ass, but not because you put me down, because they won't tell them that that's my contract. And they're assigned to certain people and certain jobs. And if it's an accident, the contract was up that day. There was nothing the human could have done to prevent it, even though we go over it in our minds. What could I have done differently? Just this one change would have resulted in my cat or my dog still being in their body. But they have a soul contract, or a contract. I'm not an expert in any of this spiritual divinity stuff, so I might be using incorrect words, which that's great if somebody sees this and corrects me, because I'm always learning. But they've got a contract also, and sometimes there's nothing we can do to have altered it. It was their time. That just it. Anyway, okay, so if you've got that going on, gift a session with me. Alexandra will be putting the link somewhere on this. We're doing this on Zoom again this week, because I couldn't get YouTube Live to working. It just spin and spin and spin. So I went over to Zoom, and we'll do it on Zoom, and Alexandra will put it up on the YouTube page. And I apologize to all of you who received the email saying, oh, we're going live in an hour and all of that. This whole thing is a work in progress. The animal thing I got down pat. The YouTube thing, that I do not have down pat. Okay, I love you all you skin mamas and skin daddies. And we're so, oh, Chico says he loves you too. And Maggie chimed in. What's going on, Makester? Oh, I happy now. Oh, were you not happy before? Well, my bum was wet. Maggie wore diapers a lot of the time. Well, at night for sure. Maggie had physical issues towards the end there. And Jolly's still here. Jolly says, I'm still here. I know. Remember? That's the dog that's not crossing over the rainbow bridge. She's not going towards the light unless she can be with her person. But she can be in two places at one time. So she just said, I'm still here. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to chime in? Oh, Aria's in her body. Oh, she held up her little paws like this. She's like, I'm much better. And the cats, whenever they need that Bemer, they just climb on it, and the person presses the buttons on the machinery, and boop, it goes for 8 or 20 minutes, whatever. Who else wants to chime in? Leo said, I'm going to kick your ass. My ass or whose ass? Anybody's ass. That Leo is a brother of Aria, another cat. He said, you called me fat. He called me fat first. Who else? Joyce. Okay, there's a Joyce. All right. No people spirits, just animal spirits. Because this will happen too. The human spirits who have dropped their bodies recently, they know I've got this line, like this open special line, and so they'll hop in too. And I'm like, I'm here for the animals. Back off, Buster. Anyway, this is just like you're talking to me on the phone. Like, I say goodbye. I'm very Midwestern. Say goodbye. 15 minutes later, I'm barely out the door. Yeah, because they're like, that's when the conversation really starts, is when you say goodbye, or I gotta go. Then stuff really starts to flow. I don't know why. Okay, everybody. Bye. Stop recording.